Okay, good morning, ladies. We are ready to start chapter 14. With everything that's happened, I do not have your test graded, but at this point, my goal is to get that done today, and I will get you your grades. If you want to see a copy of the test, I can scan it in and send you that if you want to see how you did on your test, or we can Zoom and you can look at it that way, however you want to do it. But I will get those grades to you. So we want to start chapter 14 today, and you'll hopefully, the goal here, probably the optimal way to do this is to copy the notes first. We all know that writing and actually writing things out is the best. So copying the notes from online to your notebook, and then from there, watching the video and pointing out some things as I go through. So that's going to be kind of the goal for us today. So again, we're starting chapter 14, and chapter 14 is all about perimeter, area, volume, surface area, Pythagorean theorem, measurement. It's all about measurement. So lots of formulas to work on. So this is actually going to be pretty basic. And the fact that it's a good chapter to be able to do online with. So I'll just kind of point out a few things as we go through the notes. So just talking about linear measure, you can read through this. Two types of measure, the English system and the metric system. The United States, we still use the English system, but if you go overseas, it's all metrics. So we'll look at both. Make sure that you practice with a ruler. Okay, so know how to measure things in inches and even smaller than inches, in eighths, sixteenths, kind of look at that. I'm going to also post a video about how to teach measurement, and so you can hopefully get some helpful hints through that. So just practice working with a ruler, making sure that you do both inches and feet, but also with centimeters, meters, and millimeters. Okay, because you'll be, for some of you guys, you'll be actually teaching them how to use a ruler. So kind of work with that in that area. So lots of conversions going on here. So most of us know some of these conversions. A yardstick is 3 feet, 12 inches in a foot. So if 1 yard is 3 feet, it has 36 inches. Feet in a mile, yards in a mile. So those conversions, you'll definitely want to keep those handy as we go through here. We'll use some of those. So to convert from one to the other, so if we work with the English system, I've kind of set this up. Basically, it's a mathematical sentence. So you're multiplying, but the thing you have to remember is, like the first example, 219 feet to 73 yards. You have to eliminate the feet and go to yards. So if you'll notice, I have 219 feet on top, and then I also have 3 feet on bottom. And so then I have to say, well, how many feet go into a yard? And then that's what goes on the top. So those feet cancel out and just leave you with yards on top. So you can kind of, I tried to pencil mark through and what cancels. So you have to be able to go through and cancel out what you already have and take it to a new measurement. So definitely showed a lot of work for you guys. So go through there. The last one, 64 inches to yards. There's always multiple ways to do these. The first one, you can go directly from inches to yards, or the second one, if you don't know your inches to yards, you can go from inches to feet and then feet to yards. So that's also an option there. So to multiply these, you multiply the top and then multiply the bottom and then divide the top by the bottom. So kind of going into more in depth with converting, you can also do what's called dimensional analysis. And dimensional analysis is converting both a top and a bottom. So if you'll notice up here on these problems, they just have 1 underneath the first term. So 64 inches over 1. Well, when we come down here to this problem, we have 60 miles per hour. So it's 60 miles over 1 hour. And so we have to convert the top and the bottom. So we're converting miles to feet, and that's what I've done with the first two fractions, and then from hours to seconds, because our goal is to get feet per second. So we need feet on top, seconds on bottom. Feet on top, seconds on bottom. So hopefully you can walk through that. And again, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to call, always welcome to email, anything like that. Okay, if we switch to the metric system, you can read through that, but here's kind of a table for you. Your base measure is meters, okay? And meters would come in between deca and deci. So kilometers, hectometers, decameters, and then that's where your base unit would come in. Now your base unit, most of what we will use is meters, but also know that that could be liters and that could also be grams. So your base unit, the numbers don't change, but what you're saying at the end of the prefix will change. So kilometers or kiloliters or hectoliters, but the process will stay the same no matter what your base unit is. Sorry, my eye contact is terrible because I'm looking at your notes. I really miss you guys, just so you know that. I am not an online teacher. Okay, so here's kind of a conversion trick that some of the girls taught me last year, and it's KHDBCM, and it's how they remembered it was King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So the B in this case is your base, and it's either your meters, liters, or grams, whatever you have there. But it's basically frog hopping, and this only works if you're going meters to meters. It does not work if you're going from the English system to the metric system or vice versa. So it only works if you're in the metric system. So I kind of showed you some examples going from centimeters to decameters. So starting at centimeters and then going to the left to decameters, you're going to go 3 places to the left. So move that decimal point 3 places to the left. If you're going, this one was going from kilometers to millimeters. So our start was kilometers. We're going 6 places to the right for millimeters. And so move that decimal point 6 places to the right. So this one kind of works out very nice if you're going from metrics to metrics. So down below, I did it both ways. So on the left in the green is using the shortcut. And then on the right, I set it up in the fraction form. So converting it, remember I need to eliminate kilometers. So kilometers has got to be on bottom, and then my meters on top. So, and again, the trick works great if you're going from metrics to metrics. But if you are not going from metrics to metrics, you have to use the other conversion way. So if you're converting between English to metrics or metrics to English, you have your first 3 conversions here. And so you would set it up the same way, but these require a few more steps because sometimes we don't have from one straight to the other. So we have to kind of step through it. So on the first one, we had the conversion of meters to feet. We did not have a conversion from feet straight to centimeters. That's why we have to hop it. So we went from feet to meters and then from meters to centimeters. The second one, 29.5 miles to kilometers, we had a straight conversion, so we could go there. And then the other 2, you can see we did not. So we went from inches to centimeters and then centimeters to meters and then kilometers to miles and miles to yards. So okay, that finishes up what we're going to do today. Look for a video that will just kind of talk about teaching measurement to your students. Make sure that you have done your discussion board and that you have kind of answered those questions for me just so I know that you and I are on the same track. If you have any questions, again, I'll respond to your discussion boards today. And so if you included questions there, I will definitely get to those. So, okay, miss you girls, and we will definitely get through this.